They called it Liberation Day, but for markets, it was a bit of a massacre, unfortunately. Within 4 minutes of President Trump's tariff announcement, we saw the Nasdaq drop and liquidate $1.3 trillion. Tech stocks cratered, global tensions spiked, and while everyone was watching the equities collapse, a different signal emerged quietly. A strategic Bitcoin reserve, that is, buried deep in the policy. Tariffs, retaliations, recession risk, it's all happening fast. But underneath the chaos, something bigger is forming. And it may reshape Bitcoin's role in the global stage. So, are you watching the price? Or are you watching strategic power move like a chess game? So let's break it all down in today's video. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica and I'm so happy you're here and continue to tune in. So let's get into today's content. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin's price. And you would see that as of the time of today's video, Bitcoin is doing the same virtually as it was doing the last time I made a video yesterday. We're looking at a Bitcoin at around $83,631. So all in all, not too bad. Of course, Bitcoin was a little shaken by the initial news, as was the traditional market. But in light of and in comparison to, I think Bitcoin held on quite strong, which is, of course, a fantastic vote of confidence from the general market on Bitcoin's fundamental value. We can see, and as I was talking about in the intro, we had these reciprocal tariffs come in, and for all of the countries of the world, literally every country was given a reciprocal tax, not even 1-to-1. Like they received about a 50% reciprocal tax in comparison to what they've been charging American companies. So it wasn't even that bad. But of course, you can expect all the countries of the world to have gotten rallied and all riled up as they did. So nothing too surprising there. But just to give you a bit more granular detail on it, you would see, as you can see here on the screen, by Kobesi letter, the US or President Trump announced tariffs to 185 countries at once. And when this happened, the S&P 500 traditional market was immediately terrified and erased. Unfortunately, they had about $2 trillion liquidated from the market in 15 minutes. So here you can see that chart I was talking about. This is shared as a courtesy by Yahoo Finance. And just take a look at this. I'm going to zoom in for you. It's not even that bad. I don't know why everyone is complaining so bad. China imposes 67% taxes on American imports, and all we did was retaliate 34%. The European Union imposes 39% taxes on American imports, and we only imposed a 20%. Vietnam, 90%. We're imposing 46% on them. You can go down the list. Japan, they charge our imports 46%. We're only charging them 24%. Like basically take a screenshot of what I have on the screen here if you want to look at it in closer detail after my video, but it's not even that bad. So I don't know why everyone is freaking out so bad. It's just fair, and not even fair at the same dose that they are charging us, America. So anyway, as you can see, it's actually was quite diplomatic and very delicate in the way that we're imposing reciprocal taxes on all the countries that have been charging, American imports an arm and a leg. So anyway, all of this is going to pass. I'm going to graze through the rest of this information, but just listen to it and then just connect the dots with all the other information I've shared with you in past videos. If you haven't seen my past videos, I would recommend you go watch them just because they give you a lot of context of what's going on in the world. That said, I believe this is all going to pass very, very fast. It will. It just will, because everyone wants to do business. Everyone wants a thriving economy. And it's very simple. It's just be fair. That's all. It's very, very simple. So here we have a post shared by Caroline Leavitt. And she posts this, she says that Trump's tariffs on cars will create good jobs and increase wages in America. So I actually do believe this is true and it will happen. We'll just have to, as I said in past videos, we're just going to have our sea legs and know how to get through this week's, volatile market and news headlines, and just know it will balance itself out here very soon. In light of this whole tariff surprise to the world, you could see here that the markets are panicking a little bit, or right now, just for the it will not last, guys. I just know it's not going to last too long. It's not going to be an ongoing thing. So as of now, they're calling for a recession. Oh no. So let me just read what Global Market Investor has to say here. They say safe haven assets have been rallying so far this year, while US stocks have significantly underperformed. So year to date, gold has been up 19%, 20+ year treasury bond ETFs, TLT up 6%, US technology sector up 12%, S&P 500 5%. And if we zoom in on this chart, you can see what it looks like. So this is where we are right now. Now, in 1 month from now, I'll be very curious to see where we are. I just know the market is going to be at a different place. What else? So in light of the tariffs, we have the EU considering targeting big US tech firms. Big surprise. They've already been doing that. They've already been imposing enormous taxes, import taxes on, like Microsoft products, all sorts of tech. Like, this is not a surprise. I don't have it at the top of my head, unfortunately, at the moment, but they're acting like this is new. They've already been doing this. So no surprise there. And then if you saw my yesterday's video, then you would know that they're already drawing up a term sheet of concessions. So a lot of this is chess and just politics and saving face on the global stage, right? If someone's going to come threaten to bully you, you have to give a strong response publicly, right? You can't just be like, roll over and just take it. So a lot of what we see being announced publicly is what is being released publicly on purpose. And then behind the scenes, there's always conversations, and people, they have diplomats too. We have diplomats. Like, their conversations, I wouldn't be surprised, if these concession conversations are not already happening, and we know they are with the EU. So what else is going on? So China also responded saying that they have taken steps to restrict local companies from investing in the US, sources say, in a move that could give Beijing more leverage for potential trade negotiations with the Trump administration. I mean, yeah, right. They've already been charging us a ton. So let's see, how much has China been charging us? 67%, as we said. So, I mean, they already had restrictions against American companies. And actually, I wish I had it pulled up here, but China has an interesting predicament where they both produce and have to sell to their own, public, to their own people. So they're already in a bit of a predicament in having to improve their economy, which I know that they also have some of the most incredible and richest investors at the same time. But anyway, we'll have to see how this actually plays out. But the point I'm getting to is that I can't begin to imagine how else are they going to restrict their local companies from investing in the US? I know that a lot of investors are already investing through Hong Kong's Bitcoin ETFs, and mainland China investors have access to Hong Kong's Bitcoin ETF. So they already have that window. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. What else is going on? So, okay, a lot of this is sentiment, guys, which in my opinion is a bit very, very short term, immediately minded in terms of the conditions of the market. We'll have to see, as I said, how things will look in the next couple weeks to 1 month. So we'll see. But as of now, the US Economic Policy Uncertainty Index hit its highest level in history. So we'll have to see, guys. And then, of course, as shared here by the block, crypto traders, they knew and they know that this week is volatile. If you're a trader, then you know this. So you're either bracing for the volatility in the market, the ups, the sharp up and downs of the chart, or you know how to play it, right? You know how to put in longs and put in shorts to make sure that you make money either way. So there's that. And then many are, I wouldn't say upset, but sort of waving their flag, commenting on how the Bitcoin strategic reserve has kind of been forgotten And I don't think it's, I don't think it's been forgotten. I just think that when you work on a project, you have milestones, you have a roadmap on what you have to accomplish in what order to meet your goals. So I think right now tariffs were just a highest priority for the United States and President Trump to deal with. And once he gets through that, once he deals with this, I'm positive, as you'll see in a moment here, he's going to address the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and they're going to give us some news and updates on that. So it's absolutely not been forgotten. I can guarantee you that it's not been forgotten. And then to start to wrap up the show, we do have USDC here confirming that they've filed for their company going public, their IPO. So you can see that here shared with us by Cryptos R Us. So this is fantastic because USDC also denominates its stablecoin in US Treasury bonds. So it's good for the American dollar. It's good for ultimately the American economy. It's great for the world because now the whole world can get involved. It's definitely good for the crypto bull run because it's with USDC that investors will then, invest into other altcoins. And that is, when you have the parabolic phase of the bull run. So this is good all around. So when USDC goes public, there's going to be like so many eyeballs on USDC. It's basically, like incredible marketing for stablecoins and for crypto. So it's amazing. And then lastly, let's just play this snippet. And this is how I know it's not over for the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, because take a listen. This is, of course, President Trump's son, Eric Trump. And he's just speaking here on Fox about their mining facility. They're going to be the largest Bitcoin miner, and they're going to be building their own Bitcoin reserve. So let's take a listen.
The Trump family's crypto blitz, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. announcing their investment in a Bitcoin mining company. The Trump's American data centers merging with American Bitcoin, aiming to create the world's largest crypto miner and build its own Bitcoin reserve. Joining me now is Trump Organization Executive Vice President and the President's son, Eric Trump. Eric, great to see you.
How are you, Maria?
Great. Congratulations on this. Tell us what you're trying to do and why a Bitcoin reserve is needed.
Yeah, Maria, I never thought I'd fall into the world of crypto until every bank started canceling us for absolutely no reason whatsoever other than the fact that my father was in politics, right? I mean, we got canceled by absolutely everybody. They came after us viciously. And it wasn't until that time that I realized how important crypto was, right? Something that's cheaper, faster, more transparent. You can't be canceled. That's global. And it's what made me fall in love with Bitcoin. It's what made me fall in love with, DeFi and CeFi and stable coins. And we put a lot of our effort into it. We're building a great company, World Liberty Financial. Everybody's talking about it. It's doing phenomenally well. We just launched a stable coin. On the other side, American Bitcoin, I think it's going to be one of the great companies out there. So I truly believe in it. And really, my epiphany was, again, cancel culture and what these financial institutions controlled by very few at the top were able to do to people that they didn't like, even families like ours that had a lot of zeros at the end of their balance sheet.
Well, that's incredible that's one of the catalysts that got you into this. Which banks canceled you? What happened?
Oh, God, everybody. Capital One being the largest. I've sued them recently. Chase canceled us.
Okay, so it was Capital One, because I know that Capital One also canceled Melania Trump, I understand as well. So it was Capital One. Yeah. Who else?
Maria, you can't believe when you get those calls, right? And we have properties, commercial buildings that have thousands of, literally hundreds and hundreds of employees, thousands of people that work in those buildings every single day. They call you up saying, in 2 weeks, we're going to need you to, shut down the bank account. Otherwise, we're going to send you. I mean, these bank accounts are ecosystems, and they came after us viciously because my father was in the White House and they wanted to punish us, right? It was legal lawfare. It was political lawfare. And that's what opened my eyes. I mean, I'm a hard asset guy. My entire life has been building real, hotels, golf courses, real estate buildings, right? Commercial buildings, etc. That's what I've done. If there's anybody's eyes who shouldn't have been open to the world of cryptocurrency, it was mine, other than I realized the power that these banks had. And I realized how they were exerting that power and they were canceling businesses all over our country. It was political. It was forced. They were targeting people that they didn't like. It wasn't fair. And then you realize that there's not a single thing that those banks do that can't be done better, cheaper, more efficiently, faster on blockchain. I mean, why is it that the modern financial system runs, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? Why is it, Maria, that if you want to go get a loan and you've been banking with a certain bank for 30 years, it would probably take you 100 days to go do it, and you're
Right.
filling out antiquated paper forms? It doesn't make sense, right? And again,
Yeah.
that's why I fell in love with crypto. And I truly believe that Bitcoin is one of the greatest stores of value. Immediately liquid, an unbelievable hedge against real estate, and something we're really excited about.
That's just incredible, everything that you just said. Do you want to see specific regulation clarity in terms of what the boundaries are, the backdrop is in a regulatory front when it comes to stablecoin, when it comes to Bitcoin? What are your thoughts on what that looks like?
Yeah, I think everybody in the industry does. I mean, I think everybody wants guidelines. I mean, that's part of the problem in the crypto industry. It's always been so
Right.
murky that people didn't know the guidelines to follow. And
Right.
we have to be the leaders in this country. There's no question, because every other country in the world is doing it and doing it quickly. And
Yep.
I really actually think that U.S. stablecoin, saves the dollar in a very big way. There was a study done that, in Europe, only about 1% of Europeans would buy a European stablecoin. Pretty fascinating stuff. Everybody wants U.S. stablecoin, and I think that's tremendously good for the U.S. economy. But listen, crypto is here to stay, right? It's solving so many financial problems. It's bringing parity to the markets. You better believe that, when we look out 10 years in this country, the nature of finance, the nature of banking is going to be very, very different than it is today. And banking in this country is going to finally get in the modern age.
So that is why we're not scared of this tariff drama that's going on globally. We know it's going to fizzle out soon. And either way, it has no impact on Bitcoin's long-term value. We know everyone is aping in, excuse my language. Literally, we had France, Mara Digital, we had my country, Bolivia. We are having countries right and left. We even have Bukele, isn't he? Like, they're having conversations in El Salvador with President Trump and his administration, talking about how to collaborate and partner. There is so much going on globally that these are the most exciting days we have seen as a nation, as a people of the whole world. These are the most incredible days we're seeing to transform our economy. And it's actually amazing for small countries, countries like my country, original country from Bolivia, because it's so hard in Latin American countries to open a bank account. It's not easy to do. Even in the US, you need to show all this proof of who you are, where you live, In crypto, you just download the app. That's it. Use Wi-Fi. So the harder the banks make it for everyone to do business there, and the longer they refuse to get with the times and start using blockchain and using digital currencies, they're going to get left behind. So these are the most incredible days. We have nothing to worry about in the long run. And even in the short term, it's just a little bit of a spectacle to watch. Things are going to be fine. Just take care of your family, take care of your health, sleep well, stay informed with the news. So keep tuning into my channel and buy Bitcoin. That's it. And buy the top blue chip crypto tokens if you can, because it's like investing in the future Microsofts or Facebooks of the world. Projects like Chainlink and Ondo. I know I repeat those all the time. There are others. I'll have to go take a look at my portfolio, because as of now, I just haven't been even looking at my portfolio very much, because I'm not looking to make trades right now. I'm just sitting on the crypto tokens that I have. I'm happy with them. And I'm just waiting, right, for the market to take off, which it will here because of the global money supply, which is a topic we're going to get into in more detail in tomorrow's show. So take care for today, and I will catch you guys here tomorrow. Ciao.